From Adonai Studios here in Wrightsville Beach, this is the Dubbcast. What is up, everybody? Hope you're doing good today. Selah shouting out to you from the south end of Wrightsville Beach. This is the Dubbcast. We have a special show for you today. We got my good friend JD from The Walking Dead, Fast and Furious, Godzilla, Breaking Bad, all kinds of Netflix movies. So we got a special interview with him in just a little while where he talks about meeting the Dalai Lama and hanging out with Willie Nelson's son and just life in the movie world. So it's very interesting indeed. I am Selah shouting out to you from the south end. It's been a while, hasn't it? We took a long hiatus there to do some shows all around, and then we went through a hurricane and a health scare, and now we're back in action. It is June 3rd, 2020. As we've been hanging out in coronavirus land, the coronavirus lockdown has been in full effect. So we've been hunkered down and regrouping, re-energizing, and just doing what we can to get ready for a whole new reality. I'm Selah shouting out to you with big love and unity from the Dubb. I want to send that out to everybody out there as they're going through the terrible George Floyd protests, chaos in the streets. We hope everybody can come together with some unity and find a way and find a plan of action so our people can have some safety out there. Yes, one love and unity from the Dubb. This is the Dubbcast, brought to you by JM's Jump Up in Surf City. Check them out, JM's Seafood and Pub. Bring you the finest seafood from the southeast. JM gets it fresh right out of the drink there in the Atlantic. And check out JM's Pub. Live music 3 nights a week in beautiful Surf City, North Carolina. Also, the Dubbcast is brought to you by Carl Heverly Surf. Check them out on the Crystal Coast, carlheverlysurf.com. Awesome longboards, fun shapes, high performance. Anything you need, handcrafted by Carl Heverly in Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. One love and unity from the Dubb. Stick around. We got an awesome interview coming up from JD right here on the Dubbcast. Big love and unity from the Dubb. If you'd like to throw us a donation, check us out on Patreon, on the Selah Dubb Patreon site, or hit us up on Venmo. Alright, let's get on to the interview. This is JD, straight from the silver screen. Welcome to the Dubbcast. Selah shouting out to you from the south end. I'm here in Wrightsville Beach, hanging out with my good friend JD from The Walking Dead, Godzilla, all kinds of movies, Netflix. Just here hanging out, enjoying the afternoon at the beach. Thought I'd get JD on here for the first episode of the Dubbcast as we're coming into a trying time with the coronavirus lockdown. How you been hanging out during the lockdown there, JD? What you been up to?
Wow. If they shut down our beaches for a while, you live here, but you couldn't even walk on your own beach.
Nope.
How'd that feel?
It was surreal. It was a month and a half of surreal, not even be able to walk out in the front yard and jump into the water. And I watched
incredible swells come through, not one person surfing. So it was it was a
Wow.
interesting experience here because there was no one on the beach, no one around. It was like a ghost town. It was awesome. We just that was awesome, but the lockdown was definitely a mental thing going on there for everyone. You know, I think now we have a different perspective on it all. So
I would call this time to work on yourselves, work on your art, work on your skill. That's what I've been doing. You know, I've been sharing a lot of time with my girlfriend Ocean and listening to her play her awesome guitar and meditate and just be out in the sun. And you know, I mean, we even like, you know, she got the idea to create a baby pool, but it's like not a baby pool. It's like it's like a blown up pool. So like it's 10 feet long, 3 foot wide, and on the sunny days we just go out there and hang out because we couldn't even come to the beach.
yeah,
You know, for like what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? It's like, you know. So we've been trying to hang out outside. You know, I've been doing a lot of running to the stores every 2 to 2.5 weeks. That's what I've been doing.
I don't know about you, but I've kind of rethought my whole life pattern, my whole life ideal. I
Yeah,
don't know about you, but
it's called the Great Awakening, right?
yeah, like a second awakening.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You know,
and lots of prayers for those who suffered through this, but definitely feel like we all got to get everything moving again soon.
yeah, because recently, in the last few years, I've been able to travel to India, and while I've been in India, I have awoken even more
Really? Now, where'd you go in India?
of where I was completely. I was able to do 2 teachings in the last 3 years with His Holiness Dalai Lama, and it's changed my life drastically, just drastically.
The Dalai Lama.
Yeah, I was only 6 feet, and most people can't even see him from like 100 yards or 1,000 feet or whatever, you know. And I actually got to go up inside of his cool temple.
Now, how does this come about that you get to go and have teachings from the Dalai Lama?
So, believe it or not, beautiful peeps out there, it's free to the public. You find out the dates. Travel to a magical place called Ganj, India. It's up in the Himalayas. It stands around 9,000 feet elevation to all the way up to like 13,000 feet, even higher. The Himalayas go higher. Second family lives there. It's unbelievable. They invited me.
So when you travel to Ganj,
McCoy-Ganj.
where do you go? Where do you go to get? What big city do you go to get there?
Well, so
You going to Delhi?
So the first time, you normally have to find either Mumbai or Delhi. You know, Delhi definitely. If you're going to the Himalayas first, out of the whole tree, you want to fly into Delhi.
And then,
But if you're going south to like Goa,
but when you go to Delhi, from Delhi, you drove to where?
Take a train.
Train to where?
Wait a minute. The first time,
did you go up into Bhutan and all that area, or you stayed in India? You didn't go.
Uttar Pradesh, like near Kashmir.
Near Kashmir.
Yeah, just south of Kashmir.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's the largest Tibetan village that's not in Tibet. You know, it's exile. And Dalai Lama is this amazing enlightened being who taught me so much in short periods of times. I mean, the teachings.
So slow down. So you go into this village where the Dalai Lama is at.
Ganj, yeah.
And then he's got a palace there or something. What's going on?
It's like a temple for all the Buddhists to come and.
Is that where he lives?
Yeah, he has a really cool, nice, like amazing compound that's in the back of the temple. But you can visit. It's just like, you know, privatized. This past time,
so now, and
I got to meet his security guys.
You walk in and you see the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
And what do you say?
So you know, it's just I'm grateful for being here, and like you look around. The very first day that we were there, the news was there, and it was huge because there was 2,400 people there. Very first day in 2017.
And who are you there with?
I'm there with my ex-fiance
So you
at that time.
this is just something you just saw online or something, and you just decided to go to the Dalai Lama?
Yeah.
How'd you find this?
Yeah. So we kept getting delayed going over there. So when that happened, I started checking out dates at Dalai Lama. My dates kept getting changed because of my productions, my film, my TV. I couldn't figure out when to buy the plane ticket and all that stuff. So we had to guess on the flights over and
So
everything.
you lucked out. So when you got to see,
did
you're
luck out.
meeting at the Dalai Lama, you're there
Yeah.
with 2,100 people.
2,400 people the first day, but the second day there were only 200 of us.
And so what is the Dalai Lama telling you?
Oh, he's telling us that reality isn't really reality. He's telling us that this is a perceived world. This world doesn't exist except into our minds. He's telling us a lot. He's telling us that we're all one consciousness. We're all together. We're all who we are. Like every day that you wake up and you're having a great day, you're affecting us and like all of us, like the entire consciousness of this entire realm. And so when we have bad days, you're affecting us as well, you know? And so everybody, that's why the light balances the darkness. It's very key. Balance is key. However, the light needs to continue chopping away this darkness that has been able to infiltrate our realm that we perceive, because look, Hollywood prepares us for what is possibly coming. They write their scripts. You know, lately, what has been the writing about? You know, you had Hunger Games, you had Divergent. You have a lot of apocalyptic, The Walking Dead. You have a lot of apocalyptic TV series and movies that have been coming out to where, it all starts out with a pandemic, then it becomes a zombie disease, and then next thing you know, you're walking around undead, right? And so Hollywood prepares society for that change that could be.
So you believe Hollywood's preparing us for the future?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So when you're talking to Dalai Lama, you're out there at 9,000 feet in a different lands, far away.
Yeah, 9,000 elevation feet. Yeah.
You're having this cosmic experience with this man, and
I was within 6 feet of him. Like when he was teaching us, I was only within like 10 to 15 feet of him. It was
but in this
bizarre.
realm, what do you say to the Dalai Lama?
Well,
What do you say to the Dalai Lama?
when I talk to him, because we always talk to him, he let us know when we ended that second teachings in 2019. Let us know to go out as Buddhists to spread what we believe and what everyone needs to share with everyone else, and for them to be consciously whole, and how important it is for people to understand what is actually going on in this realm. He said, go spread everything I've taught you today. The second session is probably about 300 of us. Second teachers, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But the amazing, the first teachings was much smaller, much more. I mean, it's very, very private. When you go there as his guest, I got to this time, the second time, I met his bodyguards. I met the main dude that's in charge of his life. I got to really become brothers with those guys. They shared chai tea with me down the pathway above the temple. They're brothers of mine now for life. And that's the thing about McCoy Ganj. They call on you. I was called. I didn't even know that I was going to Dalai Lama the second teachings at all. I just knew that I had not booked Ram Jasathan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right now. I really don't know. it's an area that is all about jewels and all this good stuff, right? But it's not beautiful like it is beautiful in its own way and it's in its own deserty way and all that stuff, but it doesn't like have lakes or rivers or palm trees or because like the Himalayans were nice and actually warm that time of year in October, which was pretty unique. 70 degrees when I woke up in October in the Himalayas.
Yeah, when you're at lower altitude, the sun's hot and dry.
Ah, okay. I learned a lot on that trip.
It can be really warm all the way up into
But there's a lot of the thing is like everybody. What I'm seeing is right now, the complete realm is waking up. Now, this is it. It started like in 2013, 14. It was like right after the. I mean, do you believe in the Mandela effect in this realm?
Well, it's up to you whether you believe in the Mandela effect or not.
That's true. I mean, that's very true because we all share one consciousness.
Sometimes you think those things are what they are, but then if you really know things, who knows? That I fooled myself with the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
So with this trip to India, you were there for how long?
The first trip was 27 days. The second trip was 31 days. This next trip will be profoundly. I mean.
Yeah, that's gone down since then.
So
when you do you're gonna talk to the Dalai Lama again. Is that what you're saying?
As long as he's calling me, I will be there.
That's interesting.
He recently did a really cool virtual webcast, but I missed it. But you can go back on his website, DalaiLama.com, and you can watch this webcast that they did virtually. It was some of the same things that he had already taught me. So it was at 10:30 in the evening, and I had already had a long day grocery shopping. When you grocery shop every 2.5 weeks, you got to get a lot of things. Talking about the quarantine. The good news is that we never reached martial law, and the only reason that happened, there's many reasons why that happened, but we created that to happen. That's what, as soon as they released everything, the light workers started to literally just pound the virus, whatever this thing is. It does affect people. It kills people. Unfortunately, like really, really sad. It's very disturbing how a virus can do this to people and be very contagious. Supposedly, they're changing things. It's now been 3 months, 2 months, 2 to 3 months, and now they're changing everything to where you don't have to wear masks, and so there's a lot of different things that are changing. But I know one thing: Hollywood's going to require us. I've already seen some of the guidelines that's coming out of Georgia. Tyler Perry's starting production in July.
Yeah, things will come back. Things are going to get back pretty quickly.
Doctors, nurses, tents, temperature checks, mask. That's what I'm looking at the guidelines right now to be on a set. And you know who's going to lose out on this? The indie world.
Well, I hate to say it, but it's really just our fear of having herd immunity has become ridiculous because it's really the main thing is strong people on the front line should just be getting the virus, and we should just be trying to fend it off that way by fighting it off, killing it. We need 50 to 60% have herd immunity. That's all we need. So we're not really allowing ourselves to get to that level before it gets stronger, which to me seems like not the right call. But we'll just see what happens. I got a feeling that in the summer we won't even. I think we'll be moved on. I'm hoping. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
September
I
1st,
think they're going to get really
we'll definitely start cooking some things.
Americans in the United States, right? We're going to keep our social distancing. I've already noticed that I played my first show last night.
So how was your first show?
Other than that, last.
Yeah, on Friday night.
We had a great turnout, a great vibe. Everyone acted like nothing was happening, and
Were people wearing masks or
no,
That's
we
not
just had a.
smart.
I think it was fine.
Well,
It was all young people,
it depends on how.
and it just seemed fine to me. We'll just see what happens, but I think we don't need big groups. But it wasn't a real. We played outside.
That's really
It
good.
wasn't a huge crowd, and they weren't all getting too close to each other, but they were young people, So I think it was successful all around.
Well, I'm sad because my awesome bodacious girlfriend and I would have loved to come see you. We thought it was an inside show. We had no clue that it was going to be an outside show.
I think that kept a few people out, but
How many people showed up? Like a little small crowd? Only a certain amount of people can show up these days, right? Katie's is definitely, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And because as far as I know, only 20, not even 25 people or something like that can do things underneath one roof. One roof, yeah. That's cool. That's a good little crowd underneath that little area.
It was great to get back. I'd forgotten all my chords. My hands were bleeding from playing. I hadn't played in so long. Because I've just been making videos and kind of revamping what we're doing. I haven't played any music for 90 days. We just really been rethinking what we're doing. So right now, I'm trying to come back with a different, much bigger, stronger vibe. So I didn't play any music. I just worked on the things I wouldn't do because I'd be touring. I've been touring nonstop, literally 28 years, just because I'm a rush to tour all the time. So you don't really handle. Although I made a lot of album stuff, I didn't ever spend a lot of time promoting myself properly. When you do it yourself, you really need to spend more time promoting than playing live. So that's what I'm at now. But
you've gotten some airtime on the Penguin.
Yeah, but that's all. This is just whatever I do is just my job now. So I'm not really finding any music providers now. I'm just traveling all around doing my thing. I already got my established crowd. We have a thing. All the people I talk to, we're doing great. So my life, I like what I'm doing. I'm just trying to leave my catalog and a good catalog and a good bunch of music out behind me as well, recorded and good merchandise and stuff. So, but enough about me. So what do you think about this crazy George Floyd thing that's going down? All the rioting right now.
Wow. Oh well, it's very, very, very sad. Happening, very sad. But there is a group of people that are not even from in the town of Minneapolis or St. Paul. In fact, 80% of the people that are rioting and causing chaos are out-of-towners. And my guess is paid crisis actors so they can riot, and then actually they've got, maybe some production going on with fires, and then the fires are actually real, you know what I mean? Because there's all kinds of things that are going on in Minneapolis right now due to George Floyd's very, very sad, tragic death. It's sad.
So when you see this rioting going on, have you ever seen anything like this around the country like this? Yeah, I've never seen anything like this around the country. Even during Rodney King, it wasn't like this.
Well, it's definitely escalated in a very small area. It is a small area, but what's happening is now Atlanta. They attacked CNN studios last night. I thought it was pretty interesting that they attacked a news studio instead of a police precinct, because there's lots of police precincts in Atlanta. So it's very unusual that they went after the mainstream media source for all the lies that they've been telling and getting caught and reverbing and everything else. CNN is definitely mainstream media, and I try not to listen to it these days, but when I do see a clip come across my little thing that says CNN headquarters are being attacked violently. Now, thank God they were only using fireworks and some gas bombs or smoke bombs or whatever. But it's pretty hectic, man. People are tired of the.
It was just unnecessary, especially during the 400 years. The unnecessariness, the unnecessariness of the brutality in the last 10 years. It seems like in this day and age we should be on it. So whatever's happened here,
those people should not have jobs. They shouldn't even have second chances when they do something like this to another human being that is saying I can't breathe. And there's 3 other officers that are surrounding them. They're not doing anything either. I mean, honestly, man, those guys could be held for manslaughter as easily as the dude that did it, who's being charged with 3rd-degree murder.
Right. And it's easy to say, you need to prosecute these people or that, but when you're in the policeman's position also, you're in a tight position when you're dealing with unpredictable characters every day. So it's a two-way street. When you see a video of somebody and something happening, it could be one thing, it could be the other. So it's hard for us to say when we all hear news reports and everything. So as my uncles were both police officers, and they had to deal with all, they had to be very wary of their lives and careful. So it's just a tricky situation. But anyways, your inspiration to become an actor. Can you just tell me what your inspiration was to get into acting and how you started and where that all came from?
Wow. So when I was younger, I think I was 9. I was asked to do this Christmas play by my best friend's mom. And she asked my best friend and I to be these angels for the story of Jesus, the birth. And so she gives, on Sunday, she brings it home to us, and we're all hanging out, and she gives us this thick script. It's a, for a church play, it would seem like it would be a lot shorter, right? Because, but no, it wasn't. I had to memorize 125 lines, but it wasn't just lines. It was paragraph of lines. So what I'm saying is, it wasn't just 25 line paragraphs. It was.
What did this lady come up?
We were the narrators.
I see.
So we had to tell the whole story back and forth while everything was going on, and then every now and then an actor would speak, right? And so it was. She knew that we were the only people at the church, 2 little kids, that could pull it off. She believed in us.
That's funny.
And Miss Parsons, I will never ever forget that. You launched my little dream to become an actor, because after that I did some different high school plays. I don't even remember who I was, what happened. That is I know that I was in drama class and that I did some plays. I remember being in Oklahoma. There was something that I did in Oklahoma, but I have no idea. Maybe I was a cow. I don't know. But there was something that I did, do. But then when I graduated high school, I took another drama class at Coastal Carolina Community College in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
There you go.
And I really got into it. And when I transferred to UNCW the following year, I just went into film studies, art, and a communications group with film studies. And so I started learning about, how to create movies, how to learn from movies, how the art world influenced the movie so much. So I would say my upbringing from my mom, and also different surroundings of my mom, because my aunts were all some type of artist, craftsman, or something along those lines. One would do Afghans. My grandmother would do Afghans while they would crochet, or my mom would paint while the other one would do watercolors. So I was around that artist vibe. My young adult, little life, young life, and it progressed. Well, then in 1998, I graduated from college and got into the real world, the corporate world. Like, right, I had to cut my hair. I had long hair like I do now. I had a long beard, not this long, but I had a decent sized beard when I graduated from college. I had to change because society told us to change, right? And so I was in the corporate world from 1998 until 2009. And from 2009 to 2013, I started doing something different. Well, a drastic change came into my life where I had to deal with, and I'm still dealing with it today, which was life-changing in itself. However, it's made me grow tremendously. And so what I get from that is growth, and not to ever make a mistake or just be around those surroundings ever again, And basically, that 2012 Mandela effect, when they told us that the world was going to end on December 12th, 2012. December 21st, 2012. They said that the Mayan calendar had said that the world was going to end. Boom, boom, boom. I go from 11 o'clock being in the audience with, Willie Nelson's son, Lucas Nelson, right, in Family Pride. They're up there jamming, get whiskey. It's after midnight, we're celebrating, and I'm on his bus hanging out, smoking a couple of doobies. With Lucas Nelson, hanging out, getting to really know him, get to talk to him about his dad.
Oh, shit.
It was just so a trip, right? Something changed. That midnight strike, something changed where I didn't even care about being a sales rep anymore, independent contractor or not. I was done. And so, like, what? A week later, a week later, my buddy Stuart Price comes in. And he's like, JD, since you're quitting everything, man, why don't you just do a blind submission? There's a really cool show called Revolution that's here. You've got the look. And I'm like, Stuart, what is this look that everybody in the industry talks about? And it's amazing. The look is the more variety, the more versatile you can be as an actor, crewman, stand-in, model, a unique looking character look, a unique face, a unique hair look, a unique beard look, all these different, amazing, international, different type of cultural ethnicities. He said, JD, we've got the look. I didn't know that. He didn't tell me that. I had to learn that along the way, right? What the look was all about. It's all about versatility, uniqueness, different. Just, I'm able to play Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Irish, white Caucasian, Italian, Colombian, Mexican, Spanish, all these different types of different cultures. And it was amazing because I kept getting featured terrorist gigs. Just like boom, boom, boom on everything that was coming to town on 6. That was an amazing show. Amazing show. It was hot. Bruh. We were out at the concrete factory in the middle of nowhere, way past Castle Hill. Okay, this is where we filmed a lot of things. I was just there on Reprisal. Big ups to Reprisal on Hulu. Amazing season 1. You know, we pray that it might get picked up on another platform or something. Hulu didn't pick it up, so we did one season of Reprisal, and Reprisal was amazing because I play this greaser dude. I play this gang member, right? And so, like, we're all greased up. We work on hot rods. We got our birds. Shout out to Ocean, my bird. She's my girlfriend in real life. She's the most amazing thing that I was able to be blessed with in 2019. She's changed my life drastically for the better. You know, she's always been there for me. But, like, going back, we were able to go to the studios, and they gave us both custom-made gang shirts. One that I actually wore. It wasn't a fluke. I didn't even ask for the one that I wore, right? It just had Dylan, right? And so I was Jack on the pilot episode. But I switched to Dylan after that. And the shirt the costumer gives me, she's like, here, you know, Ocean got Russell and I got Dylan. It was classic. Like, it's amazing how, like, the energy works and how things come back to you after you've worked on the project. You actually get to wear a shirt now that has an emblem on the character that you were in for season 1 of Reprisal, right? All around town, and nobody, you know, it's badass, right? And so getting back to 6 as a featured terrorist guard, like, I was Chechen, Middle Eastern. Like, that was my background, dude. Russian, Middle Eastern. Okay? And I had to learn the beautiful Muslim prayer on television, bro. Like, you know, the Amman came in and taught us, and there's like 30 of us. We're all these soldiers, and we got to come, and we got to, you know, do this amazing Muslim prayer. You know, beautiful culture. They get a bad rap. You know, my really good friend, man, Zico. He was my commander in charge on 6. Badass Egyptian, Arabic, just badass, right? And Zico and I have been working in the industry for a long time together. Like, we would be on different shows together. He started off, you know, as an extra, just like me, right? He's on the award-winning FBI show now. Like, as a lead. It's him.
They're taking a lot of people from this area.
Oh, yeah.
North Carolina.
Definitely. We have some of the best talent in the world in North Carolina. I will say that, most definitely. The acting chops here are amazing to compete with. My good friend Cullen Moss, he was recently in Outer Banks, and he does a great gig. He's a sheriff's deputy, right? And so on The Walking Dead, he had a principal role. He was a supporting role for an episode, right? For a season, you know, and he was a dirty cop. So, like, Colin, over the years, you know, he's a comedian by trade. Got to give big ups to, like, one of the longest running comedy channel, meaning, you know, Changing Channels, man. They were called Changing Channels. Comedy, just amazing artists that were here locally.
Yeah, they used to perform down to the soapbox.
Yeah,
I saw those.
Exactly.
Whole little troop do their thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, epic.
They opened up for
Good friends of mine. Yeah, really?
Yeah, we did a comedy.
Where was that?
And I want to do more of those comedy and music things. I think they're really cool because we had the comedians between the sets and before and after. And
hey, you know what?
we were just like the middle bank. We were just like the more like the 20 to 20 minutes in between.
Yeah.
And it was really like it was a great combination, a great vibe, and very entertaining for people. They didn't get bored of the music. They didn't get bored of the comedians. It was a good vibe that day. But anyways, you do a lot of roles as the villain, the evil guy, whatever. And you get into some heated battles with some people. Has there ever been a situation where you felt like some of these stunts get dangerous? Have you ever been in a dangerous situation?
Yeah, there's definitely some tricky things that happen on set. You know, the crew, they lay down these huge wires, and they're really good about placing them in one area. But when it gets dark and you're going from the extra tent into the studios or into an area where it's all nature and you don't know what's really below your feet, they have these really cool walkways that are rubber and they try to fit those out. But if it's raining in between scenes, they're muddy automatically and you're slipping and sliding, dude, and you can't fall. Like if you fall, the costumer is going to have to have another backup plan for a costume, like big time, right? You can't just change, if you're already in that scene, that's what occurs, right? And so, tricky situation was, the prison scene, Fast and Furious 8.
Oh yeah.
Tricky situation. Yeah, we were very close to all the stunts to where we were intermingling in some areas where we were crossing over because the scenes called for that to happen. Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham were doing their thing. They were breaking out of prison, right? But what was happening was you had prisoners that were stunt guys and you had prisoners that were me and other people like me, right? Extras. And so the prisoners were fighting the cops, the guards, and the guards were also stunt and also extras. So some different things got crossed over, and it did become dangerous. What was fascinating about the production was that they had 7 to 8 different cameras going on at all times. So the one minute we're in like this sit down where you're visiting with people, but there aren't any visitors. You're just because you're in the most maximum compound ever. This is where all the big bad criminals live that were sharing maximum units with Dwayne Johnson's character and Jason Statham's character, right?
Yeah.
and so when all hell breaks loose, we all start fighting each other. And we're learning from the stunt guys. The behind the scenes picture on an amazing film like that is very fascinating. Safety comes first always, but we were too close to the action. Definitely. It was dangerous. And we let the casting director know how we felt. Let's just put it that way. We talked to some higher ups too, because the PAs were agreeing with us that we were put in different positions that we shouldn't have been placed at.
So if you're injured?
Yeah, there were some of us that were. I mean, I wouldn't say injured. I would say that's the most amazing thing. We were all put in big bad positions as extras, but the stuntmen are professional. The stunt coordinator is professional. So even though, I had some bruises going on, but not really too bad injuries. I mean, nobody got seriously hurt.
Do any of these punches connect?
Not that I know of. I didn't see any punches connect.
I just wondered if accidentally a punch connects. It seems pretty much like the way they have the Ken man was, it seems really close. But
we would all train with our sparring partner, even though we were extras. We were all trained to know which way we were moving and all that stuff. And they had mats, man. They had stunt mats underneath part of us, where I was closer, like running up and down the stairs and all that stuff, Extras are asked to do that work. We run upstairs. We do what a lot of people wouldn't do for the small amount of money. But the goal is to grow your career. And sometimes you have to do those type of gigs to grow your career, because if you're asked to be on Ant-Man from Marvel,
it's going to get physical.
Are you physical the scene, but are you gonna turn down a scene? You are called to do that scene, right? This universe called you to get involved in this production somehow, some way. Because the casting director just doesn't reach out for anybody. You're picked by the producers, even if you're extras. You're still picked. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like the casting director has a lot of say-so, but everyone that the casting director picks, they have to send it to upper liner. So the producers also pick you guys, which is in itself amazing, no matter what you're doing on set.
What's going on with the Swamp Thing?
Wow. So last summer, I was able to work on, for the first time in a long time, man, we had 2 productions going on at the same time in Wilmington last summer. Amazing. Awesome. Swamp Thing, Reprisal. Okay? Well, I was featured recurring on Reprisal. But Reprisal started out 2 years ago in October, but then Fortis caused all kinds of production delays and everything else. So we came back this past October, this past fall, spring, summer, and filmed. You know what? We came back, we finished the pilot like 6 months after the storm came through. That summer. And Swamp Thing, we weren't supposed to be filming with Swamp Thing. Like, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, the crew of Reprisal was going to Swamp Thing. So we had to pull people, from like South Carolina and like some different areas, like Georgia even, and brought some other crew at some points of the production. It wasn't every day like that, but Swamp Thing is being picked up by the CW, which is huge because it aired on DC Universe. I purchased DC Universe at $744.99 a year just to watch Swamp. Now, I am a DC fan, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really want to spend $74, as actors don't make that much money these days. We try to get to that point, right? And so, it was amazing because Swamp Thing lands in Wilmington, of all places, because James Wan filmed The Conjuring here, okay, locally. And he knew the swamps around this area, in the low-lying area, that he could put Swamp Thing in Wilmington, even though it takes place in Louisiana.
Very cool.
So it's picked up by the CW, which is huge because here's the deal. Originally, we had 13 episodes. The AT&T CEO didn't agree with the creative concept of it, meaning that James Wan is all about horror. Like, he's all about scaring the fans and all that stuff, right? Well, Swamp Thing, you have vampires and werewolves in the world of the universe of Swamp Thing. People know that. Magicians and Constantine and all these different demons and everything else. So James Wan was doing it the right way, making it R-rated on DC Universe.
Exactly. They need to water it down to see that.
Well, the question is it going to get too watered down? Maybe they will cut out some of the language, but to be honest, they're not going to CW, the late CW that this is going to come on, they're probably not going to have to water it down too much. I mean, we'll see, but regardless, it's scary.
Very cool.
And James Wan, basically between creative differences between AT&T, who bought out Warner Brothers, time, and still does, they have a lot of power with what comes on their television shows. AT&T now controls that. That wasn't like that in the past. So you had a CEO that was terrified of the violence and the horror, even on DC Universe.
Yeah.
And so he cut it from 13 episodes to 10 episodes. We were shocked. We were on episode 5 when we found out. We were devastated. I had been on earlier in the show, just, as a townie, but the second time when I got on the show, once again, I became a hero townie at the bar next to Ian Ziering. What a great, amazing dude that cool cat is.
It goes to show you never know what's going to happen with these productions.
Correct.
Basically.
Yeah.
Just got to stick with it no matter what.
Yeah.
Stick through some of these productions that you might not want to stick to.
And see, here's the thing, too. Like, what's helped me throughout my career is that I know the crew. And once you get to be the familia of the crews that works around this area, they take care of you as an actor. They put you in next to the principals because they trust you. I've been in the industry now for 7 years. It'll be 8 years in January. So 7.5 years. And they trust me with their A-listers. And that's what they do. They don't just put somebody next to the A-listers. You work for that spot. And so now, I've worked my ass off for that spot, and I deserve that spot on every set that I go to, because they say you pull in the grunt hours,
You get the skills and they can use you because you know the rigmarole and what's going down, so it's easy for them to.
I had to collect all my receipts, all my check stubs before 2019. And instead of just counting up the money, which that's what I had to do because I had to list all the money of what I earned for benefits from the state. And I looked into the hours that I just put in on paper. That's not including the hour to 2 hours that you have to drive to some of these sets, sometimes 7 hours. You know what I mean? From Wilmington, North Carolina to Sonoya, Georgia, 7 hours, bro. You try to stay local for as long as you can, but when you come back on weekends, you come back on weekends. You know what I mean? You got a life, right? So like, I looked at the hours, and just counting on paper, over 4,800 hours from 2013 to 2018. 2018. 6 years. 4,800 hours, bro.
With that kind of workload, you got to watch your lifestyle, your travel style, your rest cycle, all that stuff for sure.
Yeah. I learned how to do what maybe you do sometimes, intermittent fasting. I think that helps the body tremendously. On the conscious level, you become more clear-headed, everything else going on. That helps the body tremendously.
We're back in action again. It's 2020, and we are in coronavirus time. So we're all hanging loose and hanging out here in the South End. And I got my good friend, Mr. John David Bulla, here at the Dubbcast. A good friend. He's been in a bunch of good movies. What movies he been in? Anyways, big actor. You see him on the freaking always.
Wow, I mean, recently, last summer, it was Godzilla. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
That was a cool Godzilla. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that in a hotel somewhere.
King of the Monsters.
Yeah, that was really well done.
That was a story in itself because, like, I started acting in 2013, and it's 2020 more. I mean, how long have we known each other? Like it's been like we've known each other since 1993 because of Nick Orr.
Really?
Yeah, boom.
You used to come to, I didn't even know you came to Boone.
Yeah, because I met you and got to hang out with you guys. We saw each other at the Rainbow Gathering by the roller skate rink school that used to be out there, and we were all out there, and we had drum circles, and that's when I came up with my buddy from Raleigh, and I can't remember his name right now, but regardless of the matter, that was our first meeting. We were surrounded by the Rainbow Women. I mean, the beautiful, amazing atmospheric conditions with the drum circles, and it was an amazing different times, right? That was like 92.
It was 93 or 4.
93, 94. Yeah, 93, 94.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how long we've known each other, brother.
Man, that was up on 421 extension on that hill.
Yeah, near Sugar Grove.
Weird.
Where one of my best friends, Denver, lives now.
Denver.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Denver. Denver Plume. He came here to UNCW.
Of course.
That's how I met him, right? It's
small world.
Yeah.
And back then, man, we were high altitude rats. I had a house dug into the side of the mountain, and the guy who built the viaducts, the big bridges on the parkway, took parts of the parkway and took the viaduct parts and put them underground and buried them and made these big tunnels. And he had a house that he built there, and he couldn't take care of it. So we moved into this like bunker. We had a garden on the roof, and up behind the house was thousands of acres of giant boulders to climb and tons of downhill mountain biking.
So which area of Boone did you guys used to live in?
That was like Grandfather Mountain.
Oh, you guys were on Grandfather Mountain.
That was right across from Grandfather Mountain, up on the big ridge right there. And then we moved. Then I bought a house off the parkway on the other side of Grandfather Mountain. That's where my house is there now. So
the second time, the first time I saw you was Selah.
Yeah,
there were like 9 or 13 members that I met that night.
We had a family because my underground house was our headquarters. So we had our jam room and all of our stuff going on in there, the oval and everything, and all the friends came every day, and we had all the families and the wives and potlucks, and we just like lived together like a giant, crazy tribe for like 7 or 8 years. At one point, I had to get an apartment for all the kids and put them in an apartment, and like we traveled all from New York down to Florida.
Oh, you guys traveled all over.
We were trying so hard to go crazy. We really we went out. That thing, you didn't have a GPS. And then you had a map. You call on a payphone to the guy, on the way.
You get lost, huh? How many times did you get lost, you think? Just estimate.
The first 15 years were such a blur. And I remember being on the road like 15 years later going, like seeing gas stations that were brand new when I started that had already closed down and were decrepit and had been taken over by nature. And they were like falling in. I remember when that gas station was brand new. Now it's like falling in. I'm like,
those would have been making great sets for The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, great set for The Walking Dead. That's what show you're on.
Yeah, a TV series.
Well, who do you play on The Walking Dead?
So, this is probably the biggest breakthrough in my career was being part of the Walking Dead family. I mean, I did a blind submission. It's very strange how Hollywood works, but it is Hollywood, and they are very secretive about some of the stuff. I mean, actually, not very secretive. They're top secret about a ton of projects. And it's awesome to know that, because anything that I'm doing is very private until it's released. I mean, for goodness sake, Mark, I had to sit on the biggest secret of all time on the Walking Dead series. I had to sit on it for 6 months.
Really?
And fans and friends who already knew that I was on the show, they were like, just tell us something. And I was like, you guys don't understand. I signed $1 million NDA contract. And to the respect of my brothers, the cast, the family, the crew. I mean, it's unbelievable how The Walking Dead is, because like once you're a group for life.
Yeah.
And all my brothers and sisters that are saviors, big ups, because we are a rambunctious crowd that would slaughter and kill you just to be funny throughout that show. And so I was a savior, and the savior came out on the biggest secret of all time of The Walking Dead, which was who were going to be the two main principal actors that were going to be slaughtered by Negan. I am Negan. That's who I am. So I'm a savior. I am Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, just unbelievable. JD, just unbelievable actor, and like he had to say like so much over and over and over again. He's coming out. He's got Lucille back. He just like literally, in the first part of the scene, he doesn't even come out. Like we're all sitting there. We've got all the members, the principals, the main key cast, The Walking Dead, on their knees. I'm in between Michonne and Abraham, and I've got my nozzle in between both main characters. If they flinch, we were told to shoot, no matter what. Like they said, look.
Isn't that the scene they should film?
Yes, it is. It is hilarious. I am Negan. Yes. Dave Chappelle. What a beautiful, amazing dude. Yeah. It was an honor to work with JD, because I had seen JD grow through his career, especially one of his most amazing characters of his career, I think, was the dude from Grey's Anatomy, the dude that had the heart deal and everything else, and he fell in love with the main character. But this scene was psychologically and mentally so destructive on someone's brain and conscious level that I try to stay at. It was brutal. The first part of the scene was we didn't get to see any blood or guts or gory or anything like that, but when the tides turned and he came back out with that bat, and he had already fucked up Rick so bad in the trailer. I mean, it was you could just hear him just getting slammed up against the walls and everything else inside the trailer. It was a fascinating scene. It was the most watched episode in Walking Dead's history, and if I'm not mistaken, in TV history.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was insane, because two of the main actors, after he was done with the monologue and just literally taunting every one of them, because they weren't going to. We had not just one was going to die that night, but two ended up dying. Now, nobody knew that it was two unless you read the comic book, of course. But there are some fans out there that have never read the comic books, including myself. When I first started The Walking Dead, man, I've been stuck on Netflix for 5 years on season 2 of The Walking Dead, and never went back until they hired me as a savior. I was like, okay, I'm not going to go back, but I'm going to see season 6, which was back, because I ended up premiering on the halfway point. And it was the season finale, that was there, and then it immediately, the very next episode went into season 7, episode 1, which I was also in that back-to-back episode.
Crazy. So now y'all film that. Where's y'all film that?
So those particular scenes were filmed, of course, in Sonoya, Georgia.
Yeah, that's not film.
You know, but it's really cool because it was the back lot of the studios. But it was crazy because like the first week and a half, it was freezing cold. It was like 30s at night, and you gotta remember, man, they didn't give me gloves to hold this gun. I'm holding this gun barehanded in 30 degrees weather. Okay, you know, the later it got, the more the temperature just kept dropping and dropping and dropping, dude. And you know, you weren't supposed to allow your gun. You know, once you get a gun on a set, it's your kit. You can't leave that unless you're in a production where the prop master or the armor asks for it to come back immediately right after the scene is over. But with our scenes, nah, man, that gun stayed with us while we were on set, all over set, in between shots, everything else. That gun was beside me at all times. And it was a real gun. Besides it being a prop gun, it was actually a metallic AK-47. No, not AK-47. That gun was a AR-15 machine gun. Yes. And here's the thing: when I premiered, I didn't premiere in the night scene where everybody else kind of premiered that on that episode. I premiered earlier in the episode where my little 15 bands of Savior Brothers, and we got a Bronco, we got a Chevy truck, we got a Scout, you know, they're all blocking the road, right? And they got all kinds of different weapons showing, and we're like sitting, you know, and I'm not sitting, I'm standing. I was actually really, really blessed in my career this whole entire time, man. I've just been, you know, God, the universe, I mean, Buddha, whoever you believe in, you know, has blessed me being where I was that day, because at 5:45 in the morning, we all got lost going to the set. All of us. Everybody that was an extra that day, there were only 15 of us, right? But we all got lost, okay? Because we were in the middle of bum freak Egypt, brother. Nowhere. We were on the backside of a deer hunting land, and we didn't even go the right way to get in. So we were on the opposite side of where we needed to be, and it was pitch black dark. And that's the thing about, you know, Hollywood. They love to start us very, very early mornings sometimes. You know? What's that? Yeah, you know, but with this, it wasn't like that, and that's why it's cool that I'm telling this story to you, because it's really groovy. When I got there, it was daylight. They were putting on our wardrobe, and they were like, "Is Mr. Bulla here?" And I was like, "Holy shite! I've either didn't park in the right place, or something is like calling me up for a very positive thing right now, right?" And so it was my buddy that I worked with on the first set I ever been on in Atlanta, Resurrection, Disney, ABC, great show about how the dead people returned, and it was family members, and it was really, really a cool concept. My buddy, he was the dude that was asking me my name, and I was like, "Yo, right here." I know it's been a while because I hadn't seen him since Resurrection. I had not worked on any other production. He had been doing other productions all over the country, all over the world, you know. And he landed back on The Walking Dead. And so I was like, "Drew, it's me, it's JD. I know I don't look the same, but it's me." He's like, "Holy cow, it is you." He's like, "You made it." I'm like, "What do you mean I made it?" He's like, "This by far is going to be the most amazing career change of your entire career, your life. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" don't bullshit me, because PAs will bullshit you all the time. Like they get secondhand stuff, and the ADs kind of tell the truth sometimes. It just depends on the director, because the director is the main one that moves you up into that main next spot. And dude, Drew was like, "You're a hero savior." I'm like, "What? Wait, what is a savior?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, did you just say hero? Hero?" So like in the line of the acting world, it's really cool, because like you have the lead, you have the supporting role, and you have a day player who comes in all the time. He could be in like maybe 5 seasons, but not be a lead cast member, right? And that's a day role player. Or he could come in for a day, or he could come in for 2 weeks. It just depends, the day role players. And then you have hero. And then you have featured extra, which you get nice bumps, you get great camera time. That's where you're in line for a speaking role. That's where it first starts. As an extra, you could totally be pulled. It happens. Doesn't happen all the time. Danny McBride did it for the dudes in Halloween 2 that's about to launch in October. That was filmed right here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Wilmy Woods! That's where we are. This is our homestead.
Well, it sounds like you've come a long way in the last couple of years. You've done all around, huh?
420 plus productions.
Has it taken you to some different, wild locations?
Wild locations within Atlanta, Georgia, and Georgia. Yeah. Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina is mainly Virginia also. Yeah. But I haven't gone west. I haven't gone to Florida, and I haven't needed to, because the industry has been so strong. At first, Wilmingwood was the epicenter. I worked on 7 shows in the first year and a half, just in Wilmingwood, and then the governor made a big bad mistake, and he didn't listen to the right people, and so then they wiped our incentives away by 1% of the vote, which was planned, and they sold out to all of it going down to Georgia, Pinewood Studios. Pinewood got involved.
A lot of that was, I guess, whatever.
Chick-fil-A.
And the industry changing from that to Netflix and all that.
Well, they basically.
That's all happening right at the same time.
But here's what people don't know. Okay, we'd already landed Civil War Captain America here in Wilmingwood, and it was going to be filmed at Screen Gym Studios. They had already pretty much lined everything up. I don't know about the paperwork or everything else, but when it comes down from the top dog that Screen Gym is working to bring Marvel to Wilmingwood, that's the largest step that you'd ever see, and it could easily happen because of Frank Capra Jr., Frank Capra Sr. They brought Dom De Laurentiis and Stephen King here, and Steven Spielberg, and they've all been here, and so it's really interesting to see what happened, because I knew for a fact after they had stopped filming Iron Man, Jon Favreau on David Letterman, he was just praising Wilmingwood. He's like, they've got the best scenery, locations, the best crew. These guys in Cali, yes, this is Hollywood at this time, but I'm telling you, it was the best place I've filmed in a very long time. And, that's what he was. Him and Robert Downey Jr. had bought a place here and donated, artwork and bought a ton of different artwork from the local artists. Look what you got to do with that production crew.
I think
So Marvel is now always going to be in Pinewood Studios. They got the deal out of London. The London group, I guess, really got involved with the negotiations between Marvel and the group that was selling the land, because this was fresh. Dude, this was like Pinewood had only broken ground in films like, I don't know, man, maybe not even a year or 2 years at the very most, or even less. And Marvel jumped ship from Cali directly to Pinewood. As soon as we lost the incentives, that was the paved pathway. It's pretty cool though what Pinewood has been able to do for the local community and also for all the students, because Georgia's Hollywood. LA is not Hollywood anymore. I don't know what people are telling you or saying or whatever, but dude, we've been Hollywood now for about a good 4 to 5 years. They just didn't want to announce it, but man, I mean, you name it, the everything that was changing was this from 2013, 2016, 2017, right around there. That's when you started seeing the governor really work by saying, hey, editors, hey, producers, why don't you guys just come and live in Georgia? It's so much less expensive. It's more beautiful, less polluted, everything else. And just here's all this land for all these studios and everything else. And the infrastructure was cheap, Mark, like so much cheaper than Cali. And so when people heard word of that, the crews out of Wilmingwood that lost all their productions, they started moving either to Georgia or Louisiana, and New Orleans. Because a lot of the crew in Wilmington would go back and forth. When it would slow down here, they would go down to New Orleans, and then the other hot spot was Atlanta. Still, and it's number one. Atlanta is still number one in the world to this day. London's quite close, I think, but New York is either second or third now, and then LA is way further back. Even New Orleans, LA has a lot more going on in New Orleans because of everything that's infrastructure there and all that stuff, and a lot of the agents are now moving from LA to Atlanta, like the big agencies, like
a lot of stuff's held down by different regulations and stuff. I know if I try to book gigs in California, I have to go through an agent and stuff. Like everything's a lot more regulated, I guess. So I'm sure the film industry probably has the same kind of things that have to do with America.
That's interesting.
There's lots of music stuff that come up. So Cali's a little bit, Southern California is it's harder to tour there sometimes to get the mid-level bucks. Because you have to.
But couldn't you use your own manager in that standpoint and him deal with the agents or
licensed with the California? So that's what's
wow, that is a regulated mess what they have
for each club, so you can get it that way. But if you're trying to set up tours and stuff, you have to have an agent back to that.
Well, the marijuana business out there is suffering because they tax the farmers like $300,000 on some of these farms that were, in taxes. They had to pay all these amount of taxes just to continue growing their herb that they had been growing for like 15, 20 years, maybe longer. It's a mess out there, man, because like what's happened is they tried to create white markets, meaning legal markets, right? But they did them backwards because they taxed the farmers, which literally the farmers live paycheck to paycheck anyway, unless their growth season is like so. But like there's a lot of black market going on, out of those mountains in the northern part of Cali. And so what's happened is it's created for the white markets to completely almost fail. And now the black markets are just flourishing again. And so a lot of the farmers are trying to figure out to stay illegal or stay legal. Because if they stay legal, they got to pay a bunch of stuff. The system's not working. I think recently the Attorney General made a change and listened to the people, finally. So I think it's going to start changing slowly. But think about this. When they legalized marijuana in Cali, what county would you think would have been first to get a hub on it? LA, right? Well, do you know, like, LA didn't even file for the paperwork in time. Okay, LA County didn't even file for the paperwork in time. And so San Diego got the first legal market in California for the first time.
Well, then they,
But they,
the
but
market has to
LA County suffered
they got
tremendously. I don't either. I don't either. That's what I'm saying. Like they, you know, if they call me to go out there and film TV and all that stuff, I'm going to talk to my agent before I even go out to the West Coast because.
Let's talk about that. When you go out there, you have to join your union. You have to join
Okay, so you're talking about Screen Actors Guild, SAG, and being a non-union. Well, as of now in my career, I'm still a non-union. I've got 2 tafties, which are pink slips, as we call them in the biz. I got my first one on Inspectors. That was a groovy, awesome character. I got to play a supervillain for the very first time in my career. I wouldn't call a savior a supervillain. We're these mean, cannibalistic biker dudes. I mean, like, we're ruthless on The Walking Dead. But, like, playing a supervillain called Mystery Man on The Inspectors, CBS show, filmed in Charleston, right? So, yay for the low country. Amazing, like Scooby-Doo caper type show, daytime, 10 o'clock Saturday mornings. Kind of interesting in between cartoons and everything else, right? About these cool postal inspectors, federal postal inspectors that were badasses. And one of these the lady postal inspector had a very cool son that was in a wheelchair. And he would do some really cool stuff because he was always like mind guessing things. And he had, this really cool little sidekick, and then this other chica, like powerful Latina, like chica teenager, that was like balls to the wall, like always like go getter, And the other little guy was like this comic relief dude. He would always get in trouble, Pizza would get him in trouble, or spinal people would get him in trouble. But so the scene that I come in, man, I'm at this diner scene, right? I'm walking in the front door, and the kids, as I call them, the Scooby-Doo gang, they're over here to the left, and the co-star I'm meeting is top secret, and like we're meeting to plan this super villainous action going on.
I saw that.
Yeah. My good friend Michael Corleone, just unbelievable. What a funny name, but like he's a director and he's been in the Wilmington area for a long time. He came out from Cali and he settled here and just watched everything boom. And he believed in this place, and still does, and you can't ask for a better place.
Yeah, got you down here at the beach house. I always have you come hang out here at the beach. And
yeah, man,
a little spot to go. Ocean's already swimming. She's already going out swimming, the girl. And the water's warmed up, so.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it helps out when you can get in the water, doesn't it, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
But right now we're having these man of war that are showing up because of the tropical hurricane season that we're starting.
It happens every year for about 2 or 3 weeks this time of year. And then the man of wars come through and they get chopped up by boats, and then you paddle through them and it feels like getting whipped by a bullwhip. So they're not fun at all. My friend Joey got highly stoned today, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no.
He called me up. He was like, "Is there something I can take this? I'm feeling nauseous." Because he made him go home nauseous.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, but They'll be passing through soon.
All right, well, we put in about an hour and a half there, JD. So thank you so much for coming on the show, brother man.
Bro, thank you for. Yeah, this has been awesome.
We will see you on the silver screen sometime soon.
And just to let the audience know, I'm gonna have some big players from The Walking Dead showing up on this Dubbcast in the near future. So you guys stay tuned to Mark's Dubbcast. This is epic.
All right. Well, you have a good afternoon. Enjoy the beach out here, and we will talk to you soon. Big love and unity from the Dubb.